Hello, Violin Channel. This is Aaron Rosand, speaking from my home in New Canaan, Connecticut. I would like to talk about programming today, which has become so radically different from programs that we used to consider standard and not too many years ago. My personal preference in recital program is to always begin with something that will immediately show tone, the type of sound that you have, and also not only warm up the audience, but warm up yourself. And I used to do early Italian works, or even a Handel sonata. When I talk about Italian works, I talk about sonatas by Pasquale or Corelli or Tartini or things like that. And Devil's Trill is an old favorite, and that was the concert opening. Then I would plan on one of the major sonatas by Brahms, Beethoven, or whoever it might be that I would be featuring, because that, in fact, in my generations, we sometimes played concertos, or I would think of putting on Scottish fantasy with piano, which we don't see anymore. Second half, I always chose to begin with violin solo, and invariably it would be a sonata of Bach or of Isai or some other solo violin pieces before then getting into virtuoso repertoire of whether it's Wieniawski or Sarasate or Paganini, and winding up the program with virtuoso pieces. I feel a recital is certainly not complete until you show what the music written for the violin can do for the instrument. For me, when I see programs today, I don't quite understand how it's even written up as a violin recital, because when I see 3 or 4 sonatas for violin and piano is actually playing the major role, and this making up a program, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make very much sense. And the thing that offends me actually is the fact that most of these recitals are being played with a music stand and reading the sonatas from music. Now, it's one thing to say that it's an equal part with piano, but the pianist doesn't include a violin sonata when they put on the programs of their own. So I don't understand why a violinist can't play the sonata without any music. I used to talk about this with Nathan Milstein, who used to laugh, and in simple words he said they don't know the music. But the program today, I find, is quite boring for the audiences. Recitals used to be very, very popular 50, 60 years ago. Became very, very popular because of the show pieces that were actually played. Not so much for the major work on the program. People couldn't wait to hear the virtuoso repertoire. Now, for example, Vladimir Horowitz doing a recital, it didn't matter if he played Rachmaninoff sonata and Scriabin and so on, and Chopin. People couldn't wait for him to play the Stars and Stripes forever in his version, because that's the thing that they went home singing. It's unfortunate that we have chosen to neglect the great music written expressly for the violin. This cannot just be confined to an encore or here and there, because the music deserves to be put on the program, as Wieniawski, as un peu Vieuxtemps. Pianists don't neglect their great composer Liszt and Chopin in recitals, but the violinist somehow has pushed the best repertoire for the instrument on a back burner. And now I don't understand the reason for it. Recital really should be a one-man show where you show not only how you play Bach or Beethoven or Brahms, but also how well you play your instrument. And this is something that I think should come back into being, because for my taste, recital programs are a bore these days.